Hey guys, this is Armand with the Watch Box. We're gonna do a little YouTube Q&A. All right, start off with the first question. I want a GMT dual time watch on a bracelet, and though I like the Rolex GMT-Master IIs, for obvious reasons, I'm put off. I need 100 meter plus water resistance and a robust movement. What is out there? Great question. There's actually a lot in this range, and not stuff that we see people asking for too much of. First and foremost, I think of the Planet Ocean GMT. It's 600 meter water resistant depending on the generation that you get. There's a few color options. You can put straps on it should you care to. Other than it being a little bit thick, that's a fantastic option. I think the low-hanging fruit answer to this question is the Tudor quote-unquote Diet Pepsi or Black Bay GMT. That's actually a really awesome piece. In the metal, it looks a lot different than photos, but I think it for the better. That definitely is my second pick. On a strap, I would do something like a pre-owned Blancpain Le Mans dual time, potentially. I think that's also an awesome piece. You can also find that in titanium and rose, which is kind of a cool combo. And then if you want to spend a little bit more, the Gen 2 Vacheron Overseas dual time is one of my favorite affordable dual times at the moment. Pre-owned, they're relatively easy to find, and you get a Geneva seal movement from one of the Holy Trinity brands. And it's just a cool sports watch all around. That'd probably be my number one. Like, what the hell does golden ratio proportions and strong Art Deco demeanor, exclamation point. LeMayo, come on guy, that's so stupid. I mean, I know what you mean, and I'm puzzled. How do I kind of barely do? A watch is a thing. Yes, correct. An item. It doesn't have a demeanor. Well, I'll disagree with you there. A demeanor is a personality, an action. It's not human nor a living thing. Therefore, it can't have a demeanor. Well, that's a lot to unpack. Let's start. Golden ratio. I'm assuming we're going to talk about the Patek Golden Ellipse a little bit. That has some Art Deco styling as well. And watches have a personality. Every watch is a little bit different, especially things that kind of skate on the strange end of things. That is personality to me. It doesn't have to talk to you to have a personality. You can look at something and it evokes emotion. That's a personality. Every watch has a demeanor in its own way. I mean, that's why we have the argument, dress watches with suits, sports watches with bathing suits, leather versus bracelets. It all says something about you. It all adds to your personality or what you're trying to convey via the way you present yourself. You look at a JLC Reverso and you think sporty elegance almost. You look at a Submariner and you think, well, that's a tool watch, that's a sports watch. So these are all things that are, kind of the watch's personality reaching out and directly touching you. Which offers the best value? IWC Da Vinci Perpetual Calendar Chronograph, IW375028. Zenith Pilot Double-Matic, or Rolex Skydweller? This is a good question, actually. So there's three completely different watches, for one. If we're going by complication, I think the Zenith Pilot Double-Matic has it in spades, just because you have an in-house world time, dual time, chrono, grand date, alarm caliber. And it is a wearable size. It's a little on the thicker side. From a functionality standpoint, that's what would get my pick. From a usability standpoint, Skydweller all day. It's, like I said, it's an annual calendar that you can swim with and you can't break. Rolex Skydweller, if you're looking value retention, is the way to go in this situation. It's, again, another wearable size at 42 millimeter, a little on the thicker side, but again, the complication of the annual calendar, water resistance, bezel control, it's a really cool watch. That would be my personal pick. So the Da Vinci Perpetual Calendar is a perpetual calendar chrono. Awesome watch. You can't deny the complexity of a perpetual chrono. I think it's beat out by the Zenith Double-Matic. You have a dual time, world time, alarm, grand date, chrono. That's a lot of watch, a lot of bang for your buck. That definitely beats the Da Vinci Perpetual out for me. The problem that the Double-Matic has is it's a little on the thicker side. I've about a 7-inch wrist. So ultimately, the Rolex Skydweller is going to get my vote. At 42 millimeters, it is a sizable piece, but it wears well. It wears its heft, it wears its complication very well. And on top of that, you can't break it. All right, best watch for less than $5,000. This is a fun question. There is a lot of right answers to this question. What comes to mind? Black Bay 58. That watch is really cool. Good wearable, everyday, sporty size. Black dial, kind of a little bit of gilt in there. That's my pick for less than $5,000. Close runner up to that, the new Omega Seamaster 300 Diver at 42 millimeters at just south of 5,000 retail. You can get it on a bracelet, you can get it on a rubber strap, and it's an in-house caliber movement from Omega with METAS certification, which is fantastic. Read about it if you haven't yet. Less than $5,000 on a pre-owned spectrum is a very wide world. You can get everything from a JLC dress watch to a Rolex Oyster Perpetual, depending on the size, to a Datejust, depending on the age, Omega Speedmasters. There's a lot in the pre-owned world. You know, the best sports watch is different from the best complicated watch, is different from the best dress watch. So it's kind of hard to answer that question with one watch. So I would say a variation of a JLC sport dress watch in the sub $5,000 category is a great option. Some of their Master Ultra Thin models fall into that on the secondary market. In terms of a sports watch, I think the Aquaterra is a great option. I think any Omega sports watch is a great option in the sub $5,000 category. You can get a great Speedmaster. You can even get some vintage Speedmasters in that range. A complicated piece for the sub $5,000 category, there are a lot of Longines pieces that you can get high complications with. You can get complete calendars, you can get annuals, countdown timers, a lot of weird stuff. So that's a bit of a loaded question. What do you think of TAG Heuer and their reputation as a watch brand? Do you think the brand is on its way up in reputation ever since Mr. Bever took over as CEO? To me, it seems like they've been making some great watches with in-house movements. I love TAG Heuer. You know, one of my earlier watches was a TAG Heuer. I still look at their lineup regularly. There's still pieces with them that I would love to own, the Monaco first and foremost. So I am a fan of the brand. The direction it's taking lately is an interesting one. Not my personal favorite. I'm not the biggest fan of skeletonized, oversized pieces, and I think TAG is churning out a few of those, but you have to look beyond what's on the front page with TAG. They currently have in their collection a really cool Aqua Racer with a fully loomed dial on a black PVD case on a black rubber strap. It's a fully loomed dial. It's fun, it's inexpensive, it is quartz, but a piece like that should just be a fun, I hate to use the phrase, but knock around. It's a cool watch. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot in TAG's catalog. There are pieces everywhere from 37 millimeter all the way up to 46. TAG has a watch for everybody, and whether or not you want the look of something that's a little bit more expensive, maybe you go with the oversized skeletonized dial in-house chronos that TAG's churning out. Maybe you go with a statement piece like a Monaco, kind of retro square Art Deco style look. Or maybe you go with a classic Aqua Racer. You really can't go wrong. Mr. Bever he's a miracle maker. He does a lot of good work and has done a lot of good work over his tenure in the industry. And you know, I think he still has more surprises for us. I think we're going to see more from him. One thing I'd like to see TAG Heuer do more of are heritage pieces. You know, some of my favorite vintage watches are vintage Heuers. All of that is at their disposal to look at, to recreate, to re-edition. There's a lot of racing chronos that they could do. There's even some vintage professional divers that would be really cool. I mentioned a full loom dial. There's a full loom dial from the late 80s that I'd love to see some weird new re-edition of from TAG Heuer. Maybe you keep the Heuer branding, maybe you keep the TAG Heuer branding. Either way, the brand's not going anywhere. There's a place in everybody's collection for a TAG Heuer of some sort, whether it's in the modern collection, in collections in the past, or whether you delve into the vintage of the Heuer before it was acquired. So again, I love TAG. This has been another Q&A with the Watchbox. I'm Armand. You can find me here on Instagram at itsmearmand. Keep the questions coming. We love answering them, and thanks for watching.